at Local 3.
We're going to make you feel good about yourself this morning. That's the goal anyway, because Charles Miller is here with Scenic City Neurotherapy. And if you've watched him on the show every month for the last several years, actually, you find that one, Charles loves what he does. Two, he has this very calm demeanor. And three, he is a super optimistic, yes, we can address this person. So good to see you.
It's good to be here.
Many people who are watching this morning might feel like their life is a little low. They might be concerned about a loved one who's kind of walking through an anxious or depressed time. And so your kind of word of wisdom this morning is don't wait. Don't feel like it has to reach a certain point and then you can justify getting some help.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things I think people do, especially, we're not real good at proactive care in this country. It's like we kind of wait till we get sick before we address a problem. Rather than seeing those early warning signs, we get very busy with life. We just keep moving and pushing until all of a sudden we're overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, that's a key word, because that's part of probably the obstacle when you are a person struggling with depression. You hear people say very often, I'm just overwhelmed. That mountain to climb is a tall one.
Yeah.
So there again, your proactive approach would minimize that.
Absolutely. And that the height of that mountain is related to your ability at the moment. So as your functionality diminishes because of just excessive pushing and excessive wear and tear, is kind of a good way to kind of look at it. All of a sudden that mountain that shouldn't be that big feels very big.
I mentioned that you love what you do. Part of what you enjoy is talking to people, not just the helping, but the precursor to that, which is the initial consultation.
Yeah.
So when people come to you, it's not quick, Charles. They're going to really have a chance to pick your brain.
Well, it's very important they understand what this process is designed to do, because the patient is the determinant of success. Meaning that I usually tell them when they come in, it's like, you are the scientist and the science experiment. That's it. You're the piece that's changing, but this is only meaningful change if it's meaningful to you. And so when they have a very good idea about what to expect with our process from start to finish, and then what the end result is supposed to look like, that's where we see success.
Let's talk about the process. There are a couple of different avenues that you'll take with somebody, right?
So we have two different treatment methods we offer, and if somebody comes in and we sit down for about an hour and we talk about the processes and we talk about how they're struggling and we see if this is even the fit for them. If it's not the fit for them, there's many people I've said, hey, you know what, you just need you need to be connected with somebody to talk to, or a depression coach. And we connect them there, and it didn't cost them a thing to talk to me, and all we did was connect them with another provider.
Okay.
But in many cases, people come in and there is they've taken on this wear and tear for a period of time, and so they're not functioning at their best. We essentially turn the physiology of the brain. Essentially, think of it like the wiring. It's like we're just upgrading the area of your brain that processes the world around you. So all of a sudden, that mountain that you have to climb feels the right size. It's not exceptionally high because your functionality is low.
So if you have been a person and you've been struggling with something for a while, you've not taken that proactive approach because you didn't know you could, does that build up to the point then that the functioning of your brain is kind of compromised? The stress of the not functioning properly has physically added to the problem.
People think because they have a problem with how they're thinking or feeling that it's a thinking or feeling problem. That's the symptom. That's like saying, I have a pain problem because I'm in pain. It's like, well, what if something's broken? It's something's broken that causes the pain. What we do is we don't do anything with the depression or anxiety that is building in you. We actually fix the mechanism in the brain that's causing you to feel that excessive, either overstimulation, we call anxiety, or understimulation, we call depression.
So are some people a little bit of both, by the way?
Oh, almost always both. So think of it like a neuronal injury, or think of it like traffic, like I-75-24 split.
Yeah.
If one lane is blocked, that lane is moving very slow. It's disjointed, disconnecting. So the brain is trying to send signals and it's not able to get signals through. We call that depression. That's how you feel it. But the problem is actually the way your brain is firing. These pathways in the brain are disconnected. And so that means that the other lanes that are open are having to handle excessive traffic. So they're moving extra, they're extra crowded, extra overwhelmed, which is what you feel is anxiety.
Okay.
So as things are moving very fast over here and very slow over here, we get an anxiety depression combination.
That's a good analogy. That makes a lot of sense.
What's everything we think and feel boils down to physiology.
You had mentioned a couple of times in our conversation about maybe what you need as a therapist, just to talk with somebody. You really don't like people to come in and only utilize you. You want them to have kind of that oversight of a mental health provider, and if they don't have one, you work with several, but you don't necessarily want people to think that they're going to be in weekly sessions.
No, and especially from when we talk about adding in adjunctive mental health support, that can be everything from, you working with somebody that you've already been working with, like if you already have a therapist that you connect with, that you already have an established relationship with, keep that therapist. That therapist is doing their job beautifully, and if you already feel like you're making progress with them, stay with them. If you don't have one, we're going to connect you with somebody, and it may not be a therapist. It could even be, if you've heard of it, like depression coaching. It's somebody that there are several providers in our community that offer depression coaching, and so it's a very forward focus. So it's less about looking backwards and understanding why I got here,
right,
and more of figuring out how I got from where I am to where I want to be.
Typically, when somebody comes to you, how many times do they get to you before they can kind of function successfully on their own?
They'll start to see changes within the first couple of weeks at our practice.
And they're coming to you once a week?
And they're coming to us usually, well, it depends on what we're doing. So our TMS program, our transcranial magnetic stimulation program, the patient comes much more frequently. It's like we're making, little steps every day. They're coming Monday through Friday, and it's for 36 total sessions. But within the first couple weeks, we usually start to see movement, and then it starts to snowball from there. With our ketamine infusion program, they come to see us about twice a week for the first few weeks, and then after that, it's intermittent. It can be anywhere from every 4 to 6 weeks to once every few months.
However they're feeling, basically.
Yeah, and it's very much patient driven, and we teach them how to gauge that.
And you liken it to physical therapy, where the goal is to get you to that plateau point where you can take it and run on your own.
If the goal isn't self-management, then what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, let me show people how to get in touch with you. It's Scenic City Neurotherapy. They're over on Shallowford Road. The number to call is 228-0579. By the way, if you're a veteran, your time with Charles will be at no cost to you, thanks to some heavy work he did with the VA. And if you're struggling with PTSD, depression, anxiety, even some chronic pain, give him a call. See how he can help.
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window. It's drafty, or maybe it sticks or leaks. Bottom line, you'd love to replace it, but think no company is coming out for just one lousy window. And truthfully, most companies won't. But we're Renewal by Andersen, and we're proud not to be like most companies.